Very Reverend Father Eusebius Maranan, the citizens of the San Beda Republic, valued guests, ladies and gentlemen. Nakachamba tayo. Kumbaga sa Bisaya yung nakasabong nakasuso. Well, actually, I'd like to tell you the odyssey of my presidency. Alam mo, wala talaga akong balak maging presidente. But early on, President Ramos went to Davao and sought an audience with me, together with Paul Dominguez and Jesus Dureza. And it was there he said that it is high time that Mindanao would have its president ever. I was giving him excuses. Alam mo naman si Presidente. And he would just say, shut up, you listen to me. And another offering of apology na, sir, hindi man talaga ako pwede dyan. Small time na mayor lang tayo. And he would just say, I came here to Davao to talk to you, not to talk to me. So you listen. So, well, time passed. And there was a lot of movement, maliliit lang, galing sa Cebu, but mostly Visayan, and a little bit of following sa Manila, Luzon. Alam mo, wala talaga akong makinarya. I would not want to belittle PDP, but it was a moribund party until I came. Wala namang wala siya doon tao, and we had to revive it. But I said, going back earlier, alam mo, since the time nag-usap kami ni Presidente, up to the time when they were presenting their platforms of government, yung tatlong kandidato pagka-presidente never talked or mentioned anything about Mindanao. Sabi ko, ang pinaka-problema ng Pilipinas, hindi nga itong droga ito, 24 oras, patayin mo lahat, tapos na yan. Ang Mindanao, because it spells territory. And you know, the president is the president. Alam niya, kaya pumunta siya sa akin na what's going to happen to Mindanao. There's a war going on. There might be a lull kasi huminto tayo. We're talking to Murad. And back-channeling kami ni Presidente kay Nor Miswari. We have the number of Nor. We can get to talk to him. Pero walang sa tatlo na may platform about Mindanao. Remember that Murad said, I will go to war if there is no BBL. Pakahirap yan. And true enough, wala talaga ang BBL. But sabi ko early on, madelikado to. Ano ba trying to find out kung ano ba ang mangyari sa Pilipinas? But still, during the filing of the certificate of candidacy, I did not file anything. It was not until after I was substituted sa deadline, sa last day pa, because there were really the urgings now of what will happen to the country. Alam mo, ang mahirap kasi sa Moro, you might want to know, ang lola ko Maranao but my grandfather, si Chinese, talagang galing Xiamen. Mahirap itong na mapahiya. Sabi ko, pag napahiya ito, hihirit ito. Napahiya nga, so we had to talk to him repeatedly, and Jafar, na hang on, wag muna. Do not try to spin a violence which you might not be able to stop on time. Sabi ko, kung ako manalo ng presidente, magpatayan tayo. It's either I shoot you or you shoot me or saan ako pupunta? Isang linya ng pamilya ko, puro Moro. Kasi yung mga apo ko, karami kong apo na puro Moro, papa. So if there is anybody as much as interested really sa Mindanao, ako. Kaya that prompted me to reconsider yung baraha ko. But I did not have the money. But PDP rin talaga ako. Ever since. I never changed parties. Ever since. PDP lang ako. Kaya ako pang local lang kami because, alam mo, suffering from a financial hiatus itong PDP. Walang mga backer eh. So, nung tumakbo ako, I decided to run. I just prayed to God. You know, guys, we have to talk. We cannot ignore the BBL and nor Miswari. Let me remind you that when Magellan landed in the Philippines in 1521, bringing with him Christianity, no offense intended, Katoliko ako, when he brought in the religion, Christianity, ang Islam was ahead by about mga 80 years. According to the archives ng Malaysia. Binabasa na. So they started to conquer the island. Naturally, they met the stiffest resistance sa Mindanao kasi may poste na doon. Nakapasok na ang Islam. And the Spaniards want to conquer the island and subjugated people there sa Christianity. Yung iba, nanalo sila, but most of the early fighters lumaban talaga. So it resulted in so many killings and massacre. Yan ang nakadiferensya. So it is historical that unless we address the historical injustice committed against the Moro people, there will never be peace in Mindanao. Ang last card dyan is pumayag na lang sila kung wala nang iba, federal. That is why I ran, ang centerpiece ko talaga was federalism. Yan ang inihingi ni Miswari, parang pinaka-areglo na lang. Kung hindi pa yan lulusot sa 6 years ko, believe me, mahirapan na kayo. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na because may dugo akong Maranao, I could just go there anytime and I can enter Mindanao kung through the back door to the front gate because I have the goodwill and the filial feelings of the people there. Yan ang walang kandidato no. Kaya ako natatakot, sabi ko, pagka pumutok to another round of violence. Ang problema, sabi ko sa Moro, bakit kayo maghahanit sa mga taong Mindanao na ang Maynila nga ang naggumagawa ng batas ng BBL, pati yung mga batas to enable it to be implemented. Why are you bombing the island itself? Kung gusto ninyo, ikarga natin yung mga armas natin, yung mga mortar na hindi pumutok ng army, nilalagyan nila ng butas, ginagawa nila ng fuse At pumunta tayo ng Maynila, paputokin natin yung Congress, pati yung Malacanang. Bakit mo patayin yung kapwa mo tao dito na? Lahat naman kami may gusto So, doon ang... Then the next was really the corruption. And ang drugs, my God. Tong corruption, in my time, during my watch, there will be no corruption, period. Kaya yesterday, I was reading the Inquirer or isa pa, Daily Bullet. Yung letters to the editor, meron doon babae that she was given the go around. She had to kept on going back to the, sinabi ko sa staff, hanapin ninyo ito. Kung anong opisina nito, sabihin ninyo, pinatawag ko sila dito. Kakasabi ko lang sa inaugural speech ko eh. You are paid to do your work. Kung gusto mo nang hindi mo kaya ng gobyerno magbayad, maghanap ka ng ibang, punta ka kay Ayala o kay Gokongwei. Don't give you a better salary, but kung sa gobyerno pumasok ka, hanggang diyan ka lang talaga. You must do that. When you enter into government service, you must realize na hanggang diyan ka lang. And that is very important. Ay, corruption, left and right, pati yung mga bala. That's why is this government oppressing its own people? No, answer me that. Sabi ko, bakit? Kaya kung wala, sabi ko, so it has to stop. Lahat, from the office of the president down. I would maybe distribute the circular. Sabi ko, yung cabinet, sabi ko, 30 days, whatever department, 30 days, reduce the signing authority, I do not give, kung sa anong gusto mo, 3 to 5 signatures, 1 month, lalabas yan. Huwag kayo mag-follow up. That is mandatory. At magagalit talaga ako. Now, if you cannot comply with it, I'm sorry. We part ways. That's the only way to do it. Just like in Davao. You ask for a permit, electrical, engineering, or yung business, 3 days. It's by 72 hours. Pag hindi mo naman, you do not release it to the guy. Sabihin ko, ibigay mo sa akin, after 3 days, bakit tanongin kita, bakit itong papel na ito tumagal sa opisina? Ganun lang magdisiplina. Eh, yung sabihin mo na, ayaw ko ng droga, umalis kayo kasi ako ng mayor. Eh, nandiyan pa rin kayo. Sinabi ko na. Tapos bibili ako sa iyo ngayon. Tapos bibili ulit ako sa kinabukasan. Tapos sabihin ko sa pulis, bumili ka ng pangatlo. Pagkatapos ng delivery, patayin mo. Look, we cannot build a country by killing our own people. That is admitted. Pero, alam mo, pagka pinasukan tayo ng ibang-ibang klaseng tribo and from other sources outside of our country, at lulutuin mo na yung shabu dyan sa mga barko, itatapo ninyo, lagyan ninyo yung GPS. May GPS pa mga ulol. And we are the only country, I think, in the world, except South America, na doon yung shabu niluluto mismo sa National Penitentiary. Kaya ko nga hinuli, binuhay ko itong para walang masabi yung babae dyan, sige, salita. Sige, buhayin ninyo. Given the trial, fair trial, judicial trial. O di okay. O pagkatapos kasi baliktad yan eh. Kung taga-roon ka, doon kayo tatapon. Kung taga-doon ka sa amin, dito ka, sumunting lupa ka. O pagdating dyan, ang ginawa ng nagluto pa rin ng shabu. Edi, mas mabuta pinatay ko na noon. Minus-minus yung problema natin. Kaya ako galit kasi ang shabu, constant use of shabu, even by months, would destroy the human brain. It shrinks the molecules, pati yung mismong utak. Actually, sabi ng forensic sa Mexico, because they're starting to do meth, kasi mahal yung heroin ngayon, pati mura na nga dito eh. Mabuti pa yung mga sapapis. Because marijuana, heroin, cocaine, they're grown naturally. Wala masyadong chemicals. Itong shabu, ang tubig na luto niya, yung tubig sa baterya ng sakyanan. Para may starter dyan sa loob, no? Kaya naging loko-loko. Remember I am not defending the police. Nandiyan ako sa gitna. It's just pushing for it. Kasi you are putting my country in peril. Kakabibay ko na ng libro, Iyon, but it's there on the table. It's sold online. Bilhin ninyo. Pagkatapos ninyong mabili basahin ninyo at humarap kayo sa akin, sabihin ko, mali ako o tama? And 4 or 7 years, if nobody interdicts the drug business in the Philippines, we will be a narco-politic. Kaya tatapusin, may magtatapos talaga nito, and I have placed the burden upon myself. Tatapusin ko ito even at the cost of my honor, my life, and the presidency itself. Kaya I have repeatedly stressed na hindi ako mamatay kung hindi ako mapresidente. And when nagkaroon kami ng roko sa media, boycott ninyo ako. Go. Kayo, ayaw ninyo mag-boycott sa akin? Pag hindi nyo mag-boycott sa akin, ako mag-boycott sa iyo. Wala akong, I can let go of this presidency anytime. Huwag mo lang akong ganunin. Do not. Kasi hindi ako sanay ng ganon eh. Yung basta bastusin ka na lang. Imagine being asked publicly, how is your health? Oh, I'm fine. So, where is your medical report? Mabutit na lang dyan kagumendya. Kaya kung wala, bastusin ka na. Di bastusin ko rin kayo. Wala akong... Hindi tayo magkaintindihan dito. For the things that I order the police and the military to do it, I am the one, ultimately, legally responsible for it. Ako, wag sila. Wag mo i-demanda ang polis. Walang mangyari dyan. Bigyan ko na sa yan sikrito. Naghanap ako sa Constitution. Pesan beda tayo eh. Kaya siyempre, paano itong we are arrayed against us? Nakita mo naman dito, mas in love sila gaya ng, I have to mention, yung due process. Ano due process? Due process. Kung nasa korte ka na, bakit sabi, we were not given by the president due process? Ay, tarantado ka pala. Hindi ako korte. Why should I give you due process? I cannot give you a lawyer. I cannot handle a proceeding or proceedings against you. Ano, tawagin ko kayo sa mga ganyan, murahin ko kayo doon. Tapos barilin ko kayo. No. Due process. Hingiin mo yan sa korte. And during the time when you are in custody, being investigated, maybe. But not me. Ako, ang trabaho ko is, I have this sworn, this sacred duty to tell the Filipino the state of things in his country and simply the truth, period. Ayan lang. Doon nga sinabi dyan, Rodrigo Duterte, after naming several generals, would give them due process. Naganoon ba ako? Kaiksi yung ano ko? Sinabi ko na noon, wala pang kampanya, you might want to retire early. You guys who know that I know na ganun tayo. Hindi yan pang due process. Lahat ng kolumnista, kasi marunong. Kasi hindi nga taga-San Beda eh. Well, there are two events in my life that made me extremely proud. One is that I graduated from San Beda College. And the other one was the greatest compliment that I received to make me towards the presidency. One day, Mendiola was really very dangerous at the time. The militant, mga estudyante, and the left, huwag na natin magbulan, sila yan eh. Mga komunista, pag bukbakan dyan sa ano. So kami doon sa loob, sa eskwelahan, nagsiuwi na yung high school. Sabi ko, siguro, uwi na tayo nito. Nag-uwi na lahat, kumain muna tayo sandali kasi baka matraffic. kung matraffic tayo nito, patay. So, nagkain kami ng, yung sa barbecuehan. Tapos, patapos tatlo, I do not remember, I think it was Cablitas was one of them. Palabas kami, so we were in the pedestrian platform. Dumating si Justice Solidum. Pasok niya, nasa front seat lang yung nagdadaan ng masakay. Yung Volkswagen, yung grag-grag. Sabi niya, nakilala niya kami. Sabi niya, where are you going? Sabi, sir, it's dangerous outside here. Never mind about them, let them fight. You go back. Wala na masyadong estudyante. Siguro may naabot doon, yung nagdadaldal na hindi po umuwi agad. So, upo na kami doon. May tinanong yan siya. Tae! Hindi mo naman nagsasabi ang Duterte. Tae! Parang may narinig ako, tumindig ako. Sabi ko, sir, matanda na rin ako, si Bintuan niya soon. Tapos sabi niya sa akin, dalawa kami, damn it, why are you standing? I thought, sir, that I heard my name called. Because you're always talking at the back. Come here, you stand up there. Pagdating ko doon, sabi niya, sino? Cherry Bell, Kaliso. Sit down. You recite. Tindig ako. Ano? Tapos nagtinginan kami. Siya what? Sir, there is no question yet, sir. God damn it! Sige, gano'n naman. Do not scratch your hair in this classroom and spread your dandruff. Keep it on your head. It is the only one you have. You might want to say that the dandruff president. Tama kasi sabi ko, mayabang ako ng sumat. Sabi ko, sir, wala ba? Galit lalo. Nagkagano na. Do not scratch. Do not scratch your hair and spread your dandruff in this room. Keep it on your head. It's only one you've got. Well, that made me a lawyer. Actually, sa batch namin, hindi naman tayo sa iba. We are all, tayo-tayo lang naman. Sa wills and succession, pati remedial law, talagang matataas kami. Dumaan rin kay Justice, kay Secretary Puno. And the others, our professors. Si Rudy naman, Robles at the time, sir. He just topped the bar at that time. Kami yung binamano. By the way, I was in Bohol campaigning for the presidency. I passed by Vic's house. Victor de la Serna. Minsan nakita kami doon sa Bohol. Nandyan si Boy, Brillante. Pero yung nagbalik ako, medyo matanda na si Vic. Smoke silat. Pero sabi niya na pagkatapos ng meeting, dumaan ka. Pero hindi na ako nakadaan, so pinadala niya. Siya, this is my little help for you. This is really hard-earned money. Tinago ko pati yung pera. Hindi ko ginastos. Hindi ko man alam. Hanggang ngayon sa envelope. Nilagyan ko lang ng rubber band. Do something good for your country. And if you find it hard because there are many, yung ayaw, then if it is good, do it. Declare martial law. Pakita ko sa inyo. You guys, if you go to Davao, it's in my safe. Pakita ko talaga sa inyo. Yeah, tatawagan ninyo si Vic. Ganun talaga sinulat niya. If you find it hard to do it because of parang then declare martial law. Well, I will not do it. Far from it, actually. We were around during those times. Ang akin lang is yung let the Filipino taste what is government. So kaya yung the usual is if they go there, plano ko kasi bigyan mo ng shopping list. I mean the requirements for that particular whatever. Then wag mo nang dagdagan, wag mong kunan. If it produces all those documents, bigay niya sa iyo, you have to have a journal. Receive the following application for whatever. You sign it, do not do it in the, kasi ma-erase and let him sign also. Bigyan mo ng stub, then go to the computer, ang laki ng gastos yung gobyerno to na tapos di nagagamit. Then look at the workload. When you say, come back on this day, next month, on this day, at this hour. Bigyan mo ng stub. Pagbigay niya, kailangan nandyan na yan. I do not want to see the Filipino queuing outside. Ayaw ko yan. Especially yung mahirap. Hindi, it might be a pretended sentiment, whatever you would call it, to do the unbelievers. Basta ayaw ko, lalo na yung mga taga-probinsya. Lalo na yung taga-probinsya na magastos pupunta rito, tapos maubos na ang sweldo kababalik. You know, it's always one trip dito eh. If you go down sa Naya, you ask for a lodging there somewhere, makikitira, tapos pupunta doon isang biyahe lang sa Kalayo, tapos pabalik-balikin mo ng araw, kalukuhan eh. Something has got to give here. Kaya sabi ko kay Bebot Belio, find a space there. Lagyan mo ng kung saan yung opisina mo, gusto mong lumipat ng malaki, find a space there where you can place the satellites of sa DFA. Tapos National Bureau of Investigation, dyan na, one stop. Same building. Or at least same vicinity. Makalakad siguro mga 100 meters. Then that's it. Ayaw ko magbalik-balik ang tao. Ayaw, I would like to stress it again. Ayaw ko pahirapan ang Pilipino, period. Ayaw. So, mandatory yan, including the office of the president down to the barangay level. I will bind the local governments to strictly adhere to what the essence of government services. Diyan tayo. Diyan tayo. Magtiis lang kayo kasi sa bagay 6 years lang naman to. Pero pagka nagka-diferensya tayo dito, umatras ka kasi talagang ayaw ko. Davao is what Davao is today. Kasi sinabi ko, here are the rules. Umalis kayo. I would not pursue you beyond the boundaries of my city. Go out. Tapos kayong taga-gobyerno, ganito. If you cannot do it, tell me. And I'll give you your marching orders out. Pati police. I have the most behaved police force in the entire Philippines and Davao. I do not allow checkpoints. Kaya dito ngayon, I will, one of these days, depending also on the advice of the military and the police, I would tanggalin ko lahat ng checkpoints. Ngayon sa Bukid, sinong mag-checkpoint? Hindi mga MPA. Ano trabaho ninyo? Dala kayo ng armas, wala naman kayong... Kaya nag-uusap tayo, di ba? Slow down muna kayo. I will be asking the NDF to just really do that. Lahat, mabutit na lang ang goodwill ng MI and the rest of Mindanao, the Moro leaders are up against arms also against the drug menace. And it's good for our country. It's good for talks. Just like China. War, it is not an option. So what is the other side? Peaceful talks. I cannot give you the wherewithals now. I have to consult many people, including President Ramos. He might want also to be one of the, but I would like to respectfully ask him to go to China and start the back from there. We gain nothing, but we do not also want to offend the United States. Why? Because we have identified ourselves allied with the Western powers. So that's an interest which we should not forget. Our interest and the interest of our allies. You know, there are a lot of complications there. Because now that the tribunal has ruled, the arbitral decision says that is, and if China would insist on a space domain, that you have to identify yourself before you can cross that vast sea there, America will not like it. So they would insist that it's a Philippine airspace. Then no problem. And of course, the maritime security is just too narrow there. Alam mo, pag nagsira yan, lahat tataas. Because even the insurance of the cargoes on the boats, on the ships there passing by, tataas. So it will create another problem for our economy and somebody else's finances. So, careful tayo dyan. So, we have to navigate with courtesy. Hindi naman ito nadadala ng, puro lang ito istorya talaga. Your Honor, Your Excellency. Sige, baho-baho. Dito lang ako sa trabaho na ito, even here. Siguro, get a lot of whispers. Yan, kita mo, left and right yan. Ako piskal doon, huwag magbulong-bulungan sa akin dyan. But now you get a lot of whispers, including sa labas. All state matters, but I assure you that the run of this country would be like just what we have in our hearts. This Sanbeda faithfulness to our nation. So, gano'n lang naman, gambling has to stop, but in the meantime, that I am focused on the drug menace. Why? Because pagka tinanggal mo yan, there is that apparatus of gambling. Mga kumukolekta ng pusta, and you suddenly mabakante yan, everybody stops. Ang mag-take over ng organization yan, pakialaman na yan ng droga. See? It doesn't mean to say that I like quitting that. Ano tayo, I cannot be stretched thin. So I'd call the military. Hindi naman lahat eh. Just a team there to help the police. But they have to undergo so many legal lectures about the law on arrest and seizure, then the delivery of persons to the judicial authorities, the number of hours, how to get a warrant for an arrest or to search a building. Marami tayong natin, even in the handling of yung drug cases. Nakitikyaw tayo. But I remember at the time when I was a prosecutor, very early on the 1970s, it was really a heartbreaking job of, alam mo, may kaso ka, it's good. The affidavits are there. But pag-present ng evidence, some wise say that we want to have analysis of the, because Your Honor, we have heard the stories that has been, totoo nga, hawak-hawak ko, tawas. Kaya sabi ko, in my time, do not do it to me. Huwag sa akin, sa iba na lang. Sa iba na lang. Huwag sa akin kasi medyo mapapasubo tayo nitong lahat. But anyway, I cannot detain you for any longer. If there's anything that you'd like me to answer, let us convert this thing into a open forum if you like. Okay ako. Pero basta ako, iwas lang kayo dyan sa mga, saka yung mga abogado na gusto, lahat of tayo abogado, gusto na litigation namin sa, huwag naman yung mga drug lord, Sos Mariusep, Karaming kaso dyan na pakialam mo, bakit ba yung mga lagnod? Ibigay mo doon sa iba, ibigay mo doon sa taga-UP pati Ateneo. Baka madali ka pa. Tapos, kasi ang alam siya, turo, drug lord rin. Hindi, abogado yun, gago. Papunta yun sila sa korte. Sir? Bigay mo na sa iba. Marami dyan. Huwag lang ang San Beda kasi mga kaibigan ko sa Davao noong mayor ako, iwas kaso sila. Most of the Davaoeño lawyers there, ayaw ng kasi alam nila ayaw ko. So yung mga abogado nila sa labas, nothing significant but that was the practice. Okay. Ang mga seduction, mga abduction with consent, sakit talaga ng bidista yan. Okay yan, okay yan. Adultery, okay yan, concubinage. Yours truly, mayroon rin eh. Hindi naman tayo mabubuhay niyan. Well, that's why during the inauguration, two sets of pamilya. Okay lang. First in history, first from Mindanao, first president to have two families present there. Ayaw mo pa yan. That is in keeping in obedience of the culture that is there but it's never accepted by anybody, but everybody is doing it. Well, anyway, I'd like to thank you for this moment with you. And if there's anything that I can do for you, so it's legal and it is right, no problem. Wala akong problema. Kung wala kang siguro, yung iba matanda na, walang trabaho, di sabihin mo sa akin. Maraming, there are thousands actually, it's 1,600. Hindi ko na, sabi ko, hayaan mo na. Kung wala lang namang, walang no corruption natin. Huwag mo nang isturbuhin yung nandiyan na sa pwesto. Hayaan mo. Okay na yun sa akin. Ako, basta it's competence and integrity, honesty. Pag nandiyan ka, we can work together. You can go to me anytime. Wala problema. Pero nakakatawa nito, wag kayong magmaong. Totoo yan. Tanong mo yan, hindi ka papasukin. If you are there, pagka namaong ka, sabihin ka, hindi, bawal ito. So ngayon, punta ako nung, hindi ko alam ko yan. Pero kasi yung panahon ni Estrada, there was this incident that my son, the vice mayor now, Davao City, got into trouble with a security guard. Pinalo niya yung gate, nabali yung kamay ng security guard. Tapos, alam mo na, the media want to do. So, interview na, paano, magdemanda ka, gano'n. Sabi ng security guard, hindi ako magdemanda kasi ang tatay congressman. So, itong media tawag agad. What can you say about the statement of the security guard? Yung nasaktan, ayaw rin niya magdemanda. Sabi ko, madali yan. So, right there and there, I dictated my resignation from Congress. Oh, it's on record. I am the only congressman nag-tender ng resignation. Sabi ko, because of the incident involving my son, tapos gano'n, blah, blah, blah. Then I submitted it to Villar. Sabi niya Villar, sabi niya, here is, nilagay sa agenda, the resignation of Mayor Duterte. Sabi naman ni Joker, the late, Joker Arroyo, no, we are not allowed to accept any resignation from any. We are not the employer of Duterte. We are not from his district. It is only the people of his district who can accept his resignation. Ako, for the reasons of delicadeza, nag-resign talaga ako. Alam mo, there will be so many elections in the future. Pagbuhayin ako ng Panginoong Diyos. But talking about God, I will end my talk here. Do you know, and you review the tapes, do you know that I was the only one, the only candidate who invoked or who was invoking the name of God during the campaign. Alam ba ninyo yan? You review the tapes. Wala kang marinig na isa magsabi, ako every time, if by the grace of God, if God wills it, pabalik-balik yan. And the ultimate statement was I made sa Luneta during the meeting di Avance. I said that if God wants me to be president, I will be president of this country. If God does not want me president, He will give me the sign or maybe defeat. Sabi ko. Alam ko, maraming papasok sa atin sa politika. Ako dead end na ako. I was elected mayor of Davao in 1988. I coasted along for 23 years as mayor of Davao City. One term congressman, one term vice mayor ni Inday. Yung anak ko, taga San Beda rin yun. Third yun. Yung namugbog ng polis, nandito yung parents niya. Isa rin yun. So, ganun. Alam ninyo, except for Marcos, si Aimee, and si Abet, Governor Abet sa Bataan, alam mo ba, even sa Mindanao, outside, wala akong mayor or governor. Even sa Mindanao. Wala akong isang barangay captain sa Luzon, Bicol, or Visayas. Kaya nga, when I was so perplexed also after the results. Because during the campaign, na-mesmerize ka sa mga crowd eh. So you'd think that you are already formidable. Tapos yung sa ano. What truth to tell, hindi ko talaga malaman paano ako nanalo. Wala ako ni isang barangay captain dito sa Calabarzon pati Metro Manila. Wala. Except of course, yung mga taga San Beda. Kaya napakarami na pala natin. Akala ko ba bago lang itong San Beda. Biro mo, lahat ng San Beda bumoto. Di yun ang napanalo sa akin. How many billions are there? Kagaya ni Ponce Doque. After President Ramos, siya ang una kong pinuntang kasi bidista niya. Alam mo, pagsabi mo, okay. Ponce, saan ka? Nandiyan yan. I offered him something. Ayaw nung sa cabinet. I offered him a cabinet post. But, lahat naman ito sila, puro magagaling. Kasi regular ako. Nadisgrasya ako sa kutse. Kaya I'm hard hearing sa right ear. May fracture ako dito. Pero puro magagaling. Bit Aguirre. Cum laude. Art Tugade. Si Bingbong. Jaldia. Marami ito. San Beda. Marami sila. Sabi ko, Rudy Salalima. Ngayon ito sila. Sabi nila, ito si Duterte, walang kilala ko San Beda o taga Davao. That's a riddle. I'll give you the answer. Probinsyano ako. Nag-aral ako ng Maynila. Along the way, wala naman akong nakilala na talang naging close. Except my wife. Kasi stewardess eh. Ito ang asawa ko, German, si Zimmerman. Kasi maganda yung pero ang kilala ko, taga Davao, far and wide, in between the years, yung sakasakay, sino mo kilala mo, except your wife? Sa Maynila, dito naman sa dormitoryo lang ng YMCA, pati sa eskwelahan. So sino man ang makilala ko na brilliant, except si Sal, because talagang outstanding, Sal Panelo at UP. Wala akong ibang kilala na bright. I was not invited to the socials here. They didn't even recognize me, my name. Wala. Except sa eskwelahan. So So, ang nakuha ko, yung kilala ko ng mga bright. Carlos Dominguez, de Finance, kababata ko yan since kindergarten. Valedictorian yan hanggang natapos yan sa, I don't know what school sa Amerika. So, puro kilala ko. Ang kilala ko lang na may, si Pagcor, si Andrea, she campaigned for me. Yung talagang, so yan lang nakilala ko sa buhay ko. Hindi yun na sila yung kinuha ko, yung mga, kasi wala namang ibang nag-apply, siya ako hanap. So, yun ang sikreto doon. Kasi wala akong kakilala. Ang kilala ko lang ang mga bright. Ang mga, puro mga Vit Aguirre, ito Tugade, bright boy yan. Sunny Dominguez, valedictorian. Puro valedictorian. Ang presidente, 75 lang. Okay lang naman. Jess Dureza. Ang classmate ko yan. Valedictorian. Nakita ko nga yung grado niya yung general weighted average pag-graduate namin. Sabay kami kumuha ng card eh. Sabi ko, tingin ko sa kanya, Jess, ilang iyo? Kaya, 96 bay. Yung iyo, kuha ko naman. Ay ko, wala. Kukunin ko pa. Tama nga, paglabas 78. But by the way, Jess Dorosa is working for me. So is Sunny Dominguez, Artugade, and Vit, and Cesar. All brilliant, working for ordinaryong bidista lang. Pero, salamat po.